Hello dear students, welcome to the class on hormonal contraceptives. In this today's class, we're going to learn about female contraception. So coming to the specific learning objectives for today's class. So at the end of this session, you should be able to describe what is hormonal contraceptive, should be able to describe the important features of oral contraceptives, types of oral contraceptives, mechanism of action of various types of oral contraceptives, their adverse effects and contraindications. So these last two specific learning objectives, that is mechanism and adverse effect and contraindication, will be dealt in separate classes. So today we'll concentrate on the first three specific learning objectives. So moving on to the hormonal contraceptives. Hormonal contraceptives or hormonal preparations are used for drugs which are able to reverse the suppression of fertility. So these hormonal agents will be going to cause reversible suppression of fertility. In simple terms, they are going to prevent the fertility temporarily. So they cause reversible suppression of the fertility. In earlier days, which are the common contraceptive methods which were used? They are condoms, diaphragms, spermicidal creams, and foam tablets. So all these contraceptive methods were used earlier, and also they were accounting for high failure rates. In this background, in 1955, the Rock and Pincus, they introduced for the first time, they announced the successful of oral progestin as a contraceptive agent. So coming to the female contraception. So as I said, why female contraception has become success worldwide? Because an individual can suppress the fertility at their convenience, at their will. What are the reasons for this? Because these female contraceptive methods were very efficacious, especially the oral contraceptive. They are very effective, very convenient in nature. They are available at affordable prices all around the globe, and overall it provides the safety for an individual who takes female contraceptives for prevention of fertility. Coming to the types of female contraception methods, it can be classified into oral contraception methods and injectables. Under oral, you have got combined pills, phased pills, mini pills, and postcoital pills. Under injectables, you have got two long acting, remember, two long acting progestins. So they are the long acting progestin. They don't have any estrogen component here in the injectables. Those are DMPA, that is depot metroxy progesterone acetate, and second one is norethindrone enanthate, that is NEE, or it is also called as norethisterone. Let's move on to the oral contraceptives. Under oral contraceptives, let's learn about the combined pills. So what do you understand by combined pills? So combined pill means it is made up of combination of both estrogen and progesterone, both estrogen and progesterone. So usually these are the first generation where there was a increased amount of both estrogen as well as the progesterone, which were causing lots of side effect. So to overcome this, they developed the second generation oral contraceptive pills where they reduce the amount of estrogen as well as the progesterone. So in the third generation oral contraceptive pills, they added the newer progestins. Newer progestins had lesser side effect compared to the earlier or the old progestins. These newer progestins are devoid of anti-androgenic activity. So example is desogestrel. So and these drugs, estrogen and progesterone in combined pills, they are available as a fixed dose combination, and these two drugs are given for all the days throughout 21 days. If a menstrual cycle is around 28-day cycle, out of this 28 days you will be giving this combined pill for 21 days daily. So here the estrogen, the amount of estrogen and amount of progestin which is fixed will be given daily for 21 days without any change in the amount of concentration. That's why they are called as monophasic. Mono means they have a fixed dose of drugs for each of them throughout the 21 days. So these type of pills which are given for 21 days without any change in the dose for each one of them is called as monophasic regimen. So next, coming to the other aspects like the progesterone which is used. So remember, the estrogen which is used in a combined pill is a ethinyl estradiol. So the progestin which is used here will be having a potent anti-ovulatory action. So you're going to select the progestin as such. It will be having a potent anti-ovulatory action. So out of this progestins, the 19 testosterone has got potent anti-ovulatory action. So the examples are levonorgestrel, desogestrel, norgestimate and gestodin. So one more advantage of having a potent anti-ovulatory action with respect to progestin is you can reduce the dose of ethinyl estradiol from 30 microgram per day to 20 microgram per day. Is it clear? So what are the three important benefits with respect to the combined oral contraceptive pills? They are the both estrogen as well as progesterone. They're going to synergize. They have synergistic action with respect to both of them over inhibition of ovulation. They produce a synergistic effect on the inhibition of ovulation, and also the progestin component. Remember, also the progestin component ensures the prompt bleeding, in the last during the treatment of this combined oral contraceptive pills. Why it should ensure a prompt bleeding? So the reason being, progesterone ensuring prompt bleeding at the end of a cycle is going to mimic the normal hormonal pattern in a menstrual cycle. Apart from this, progestin will also blocks the endometrial carcinoma risk, which is seen due to estrogen. So these are the three important beneficial effects with respect to the combined oral pill. It synergizes the action to inhibit the ovulation. Progestin ensures the prompt bleeding. Progestin blocks the endometrial carcinoma risk, which were due to estrogen. So how to remember combined? Combined means they have synergistic effect on the ovulation prevention, and also it causes bleeding. It ensures bleeding, prompt bleeding at the end of the cycle, and also it blocks the risk of endometrial carcinoma. Next, coming to the how to administer this combined oral contraceptive pills. If you remember, normal menstrual length will be around average 28 days. This is the menstrual cycle written from day 1 till day 28. Usually these oral contraceptive pills will be given for 21 days. It will be having 21 combined oral contraceptive pills, and for the last 7 days you won't be giving any oral contraceptive pills. Here you will not give any combined oral contraceptive pills, and there will be gap of 7 days. During these 7 days, either you will not be giving any drugs, or you can give any placebo, or you can give the iron tablets. So when to start this 21-day oral contraceptive drug? So usually they say that once the menstrual cycle start, so within the 5th day of the menstrual cycle, or on the 5th day of the menstrual cycle, you can start the combined oral contraceptive pills. Once you start it, each day you have to take one pill daily, and it should be continued for 21 days. After 21 days, you should take the placebo or the iron containing tablets, which will be available in the combi pack. So from the 26th day onwards, you can start a placebo or iron tablets. So it will go on till the next cycle. So it will go on till the 4th day of the next new menstrual cycle, and again on the 5th day of the new menstrual cycle, you can start the combined oral contraceptive pills again. So coming to the phased pills. Under phased pills, you have to remember there are monophasic pills, there are biphasic pills, and there are triphasic pills. So what do you understand by monophasic pills? Monophasic means throughout the 21 days, starting from day 1 to 21, you will be giving a fixed dose of both estrogen as well as the progesterone. So remember, here the estrogen will be the ethinyl estradiol. Again, based on the estrogen amount, you can classify the monophasic pill into standard dose. Here estrogen will be 50 microgram, and this is LNG, that is levonorgestrel, 250 microgram, and the low dose estrogen, which contains 30 microgram, and progesterone, that is levonorgestrel, contains 150 microgram, and very low dose estrogen, which contains 20 microgram, and progesterone contains 100 microgram. So in the biphasic regimen, so what will happen from day 1 to day 10? Here remember, the estrogen content will remain constant for throughout the 21 days, but from day 1 to day 10 the progestin concentration will differ with respect to two phases. From day 1 to day 10 the progestin concentration will be 500 micrograms, that is here we have taken norethindrone, and in the second half from day 11 to day 21, sorry, it is day 21, it is 21, we will be giving a higher doses of norethindrone, that is 1000 microgram. So this is called as biphasic. So you are going to differ the dose of progesterone keeping a estrogen dose constant. What happens in case of triphasic regimen? In triphasic regimen, again the estrogen concentration or the amount remains same or it will vary a bit. So in the mid cycle, estrogen concentration can be increased to 40 micrograms, but here in triphasic the progesterone will be increased in a phasic manner. Progressively the progesterone will be increased. In the first phase, which starts from day 1 to day 6, the progesterone, the levonorgestrel concentration will be 50 micrograms. In the second phase, from the 7th to next 11th day, you will be giving 75 micrograms of levonorgestrel, and from the 12th day onwards till 21st day you will be giving 125 micrograms. So here the estrogen dose will remain same or vary a little, but the progestin concentration will go on progressively increasing. So when to give phased pills? So phased pills are preferred in the age group over more than 35 years with no history of withdrawal bleeding or no history of breakthrough bleeding when they were using monophasic pills earlier. So in such cases you can administer phased pills. And also what happens is, when you compare the superiority of these phasic pills, superiority of triphasic over the monophasic, there is a insufficient data to say that triphasic is superior to monophasic. So there is no data available which can conclude that triphasic pills are superior to monophasic. So coming to the third type of oral contraceptive, that is progestin only pills. It is also called as mini pills. So when to use this? So whenever where the individual doesn't require estrogen component, when estrogen component is contraindicated. So in such cases you can use low dose progesterone continuously without giving any gap on all the 28 days. Some of the problems which will be encountered while using progestin only pills are, it can lead to irregular menstrual cycle, as well as in 20 to 30% of the individuals can go for ovulation. So what is the mechanism behind this progesterone only pills? They will going to increase the cervical mucosal secretion. Sorry, it is cervical mucus. So they are going to increase the mucus secretion, thereby they interfere or prevent the sperm penetration, and also they interfere with the implantation. So when you compare the efficacy of this pill over combined pill, it is less efficacious compared to combined. Combined is more efficacious than the mini pill. Coming to the emergency pill, they are also called as postcoital pill. So when you want to use this and in whom you want to use this. It should be used when there is a unprotected sexual intercourse. It can occur either due to the failure of contraception like failure of condom or due to the accidental unprotected sexual intercourse like in case of rape. So in these conditions where it can lead to unwanted pregnancy, if you don't prevent it, what will happen? There can be a malformation of the fetus, and also there will be increased risk of carcinomas among female offsprings, as well as there will be undescended testes in case of male offsprings. So under emergency pills you have got three drugs, that is levonorgestrel. You can give two doses of 0.75 milligram 12 hours apart, or you can give 1.5 milligram as a single dose within 72 hours. You can also use ulipristal, which is a selective progesterone receptor modulator. 30 milligram of single dose is given within 120 hours. There is an extended time with respect to the ulipristal. Or you can use mifepristone, which is anti-progestin. Can use 600 milligram as a single dose within 72 hours. Usually it is combined with the misoprostol, which is a prostaglandin. Next, coming to the injectables. Why injectables are preferred over oral contraceptives? Earlier, the injectables are preferred because to obviate the need for daily intake of or daily administration of oral contraceptive pills, injectables were used. Injectables can be taken once in 2 to 3 months, whereas oral contraceptive has to be taken daily, and these are administered through intramuscular route in the form of oily solution. They are highly effective when compared to the oral contraceptive pills, but and also when they inquired or conducted a risk study, there were no risk of any cervical cancer or ovarian cancer or hepatic cancers, but there is a slight increase in the risk of breast cancer among young women. So this was the light concern about injectables. And also injectable you have got, as I said earlier, epoxy, medroxy, progesterone acetate, as well as norethindrone enanthate. So these are the two drugs which are preferred. It is given, the DMPA is given in the dose of 150 milligram once in 3 months. It is long acting and failure rates are less. Whereas NEE, the dose is 200 milligram. It is administered once in 2 months. It is short acting. It has got high failure rates. So DMPA is more efficacious than NEE, and usually it is administered in women. So should not be administered in case of adolescent females as well as in case of lactating women, because it will disrupt the menstrual cycle by disrupting the hormonal pattern. They disturb the normal hormonal pattern of the menstrual cycle. So in sometimes by when there is a disruption of the menstrual cycle, they can go for increased risk of vaginal bleeding, and also it can lead to amenorrheas. So that's why they are preferred in women, not in case of adolescent female or in case of lactating women. What are the drawbacks of injectables? They can cause menstrual irregularities, especially in the adolescent female and lactating women. They can cause excessive bleeding, they can lead to amenorrhea, they can cause headache, they can lead to weight gain. So why there is a weight gain here? So here mainly the weight gain and headache are can occur in case of more than 5% of the individuals who are taking injectables, and also there will be decrease in the bone mass density. This has been attributed to the low estrogen. So finally it completely disrupts the normal menstrual bleeding pattern, and in some case it can lead to permanent sterility or permanent infertility. So when you stop these drugs, so fertility to return back, it takes around 6 months to 30 months, or some cases it can lead to permanent sterility. So coming to the implants, under implants you have two things: biodegradable and non-biodegradable implants. They are implanted under the skin, beneath the skin. Two things you have to remember: Norplant and progesterone. Norplant is having a 6 capsule, each containing 36 milligrams of levonorgestrel, total 216 milligrams. They are administered as a subcutaneous implants. It will stay till 5 years. There is one more intrauterine device, that is Progesta Cert. It is a progesterone impregnated intrauterine device which has 52 milligrams of levonorgestrel, and it will stay in the body for 5 years. There is one more contraceptive, that is transdermal contraceptive, where there is a combination of progestin, norelgestromin and ethinyl estradiol. They are given once weekly, total for 3 weeks, with a 1 week gap at the end. So coming to the summary, we have discussed so far the why hormonal contraceptives are important. Why important? It reversibly prevents the fertility. So what are the types of female contraception? One, the oral, and second one is the injectables. Under oral you have got combined oral pills. Second, you have got phased pills. Third, you have got mini pills, and you have got emergency pills, etc. Coming to the combined pills, usually here there will be a combination of estrogen and progesterone. It will be a fixed dose for all 21 days. So it is called as monophasic. Or depending upon the estrogen concentration, it can classify into standard one, which has got 50 micrograms of estrogen, low dose estrogen which contains 30 micrograms, and very low dose estrogen which contains 20 micrograms. And also next is the phased pills. In the phased pills, so already I have studied monophasic, we have biphasic and triphasic. In biphasic, estrogen will be constant, but progesterone concentration will vary from two phases. In the first phase, starting from 1 to 10 days, there will be one concentration of the drug, and from 11 to 21 there will be another concentration of the drug. In triphasic, again estrogen will remain constant, whereas progesterone will be divided into three phases with an increasing dose progressively. From day 1 to day 6 there will be one dose, from day 7 to 11 there will be one, the dose will be increased, and from 12th day onwards to till 21st day the dose will differ from the first two phases. So what happens in case of the, and one more advantage of adding progesterone here is you will be adding a progesterone which are having potent anti-ovulatory action, especially the progestins like which contains potent anti-ovulatory action, levonorgestrel, desogestrel, etc. And also these progesterone will prevent the or block the endometrial cancer which are caused due to the estrogen. And also this progesterone will ensure the prompt menstrual bleeding at the end of the cycle. So coming to the mini pills, these mini pills are also called as POP, that is progesterone only pill. These progesterone only pills are indicated whenever the estrogen is totally contraindicated. Coming to the emergency pills, when they are indicated whenever there is an unprotected sexual intercourse which can lead to unwanted pregnancy, you can use levonorgestrel or ulipristal or mifepristone. Usually it is to be taken within 72 hours, whereas ulipristal can be taken within 150 hours. So coming to the injectables, you have got medroxyprogesterone acetate, that is depot medroxyprogesterone acetate, and you have got norethindrone enanthate. So among these two drugs, this depot medroxyprogesterone acetate is more effective than compared to NEE, and also they are not preferred nowadays, and only the long acting progestins are used, and they have got many drawbacks, like it can lead to menstrual irregularities, they can lead to withdrawal bleedings, it can lead to weight gain, it can lead to headache, and also it can increase the risk of breast cancer in young individuals. Apart from that, we also learned about the implants like Norplant and Progesta Cert. Usually they will be injected as a subcutaneous implants which will stay for 5 years. And also you have a transdermal contraceptive. Thank you.